never cap, but I'm wearing like 3 hats. Never been a rat, but I know where the cheese at. You'll never get a trophy cause they all here where we at. You better believe that. When it's all said and done, I'll still be here standing. Never took a loss and it ain't something that I'm planning. I dare you to say something, my focus is A1. Every dog has its day, it's been mine since day one. This is real grinding, I'm still climbing. While you still trying, I'm still shining. It's real blinding, and I'm getting hotter too. Talking top 2, I'm not a 2. You let the pressure bother you when I do what I gotta do. Let's go hard. Coming close to me, flow is on atomic, I'm starting fires through poetry. The hardest out, staying loyal, no falling out. And if you step into the court, be ready, we balling out. Yeah, the coldest of teens, they know what we bring, don't try us. Ain't no in between, we go for these dreams in silence. Hard work, don't mistake it for magic. We been shooting in the gym, this is target and practice. Yeah. And I'm just getting started, getting feet wet. It's all in repetition, ain't a secret. All facts, all black dress code. Pay me my respect, collecting every debt. Oh, the hardest. I bring the pain. Not what you used to. It's all part of the game. Yeah, I just gotta go hard. I just gotta go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard.
Welcome to the season finale of the E3 SWC, the Euro Cup 3 Spanish Winter Championship 2025. This is going to be a real nail-biter of a championship showdown. Mattia Kilnaghi, Maciej Gladish and Valerio Rinicella. 3 drivers battling for the title, 2 Italians and the Pole, Maciej Gladish, who has actually put his car on pole for the first of our 2 races this weekend. Jake Sanson in the commentary box, Alex Garcia down in pit lane to talk us through the action, and it's going to be Maciej Gladish and Alex Abkasava going to be doing such a fantastic job on the front row of the grid. Let's see if Abkasava can really put in a bit of a challenge here with Maciej Gladish on pole. Jesse Gadescado third on the grid, Mattia Kilnaghi P4, championship leader, has a great opportunity to work his way further forward. But this Motorland Aragon circuit couldn't be a better location to finish off this championship battle with just 2 races this weekend rather than 3. And it's certainly going to be a nail-biter right to the end of the season. Maciej Gladiš, the pole sitter, taking the bonus points for pole position. That puts him 71 points in the championship. Miguel Portillo is down in pit lane to talk us through the action from how he sees it. Miguel, exciting stuff and big times ahead of us for this Euro Cup 3 decider. Just how likely is it that Maciej Gladiš can turn the tables on Matej Kolnagi, with Kolnagi starting down in P4?
Here we go, Jake. Hello, Jake. Hello, everybody. Just about to start the race. Gladiš on the first position. The pole sitter for the second time in this season tried to make the best to try to win this crown, because Kolnagi just has to finish it today and just to wait for tomorrow to be the champion of this Spanish Winter Championship. But let's see if Gladiš can do the magic on his hand, try to have a victory in this Saturday, because I mean, he has been the fastest on the qualifying, real weird qualifying, because we had a red flag, but he got this second pole position. So he did his job. And Kolnagi started in a 4th position. I mean, he just tried to wait a little bit, tried to know if he's gonna be into a fight for a podium, and just try and wait for tomorrow. But let's see, Jake, because I think we're gonna see a tough battle with them.
It's definitely going to be a tight one for this championship fight. Thank you, Miguel. Hopefully we won't need you too much during the race, but we'll certainly need you after it to talk through our top 3. Maciej Gladiš, pole position for the pole, and the KCL MP driver with a real chance to get some of this points deficit down. He's already taken a race victory so far this season. Race 3 at Jerez was his for the taking. Matej Kolnagi has won twice this year. The other race winners, of course, James Igozzi, Valerio Renicella, and the Peruvian Andres Cardenas. So now it's all going to be about consistency for the tail end of the season. Matej Kolnagi has 97 points. 71 is the tally of Maciej Gladiš. That means there's 26 points between the 2 leading drivers in the championship, with 25 points available for the win in race 1 and 18 available for the win in race 2. So it's definitely going to be a tricky one for this weekend, as our 2 races are definitely going to be a tough one for Gladiš. If he can overturn the tables on Matej Kolnagi, he could take the title fight down to the last race of the season. He's got to outscore Matej Kolnagi by at least 8 points to keep this championship fight alive. So if the race finishes as it currently stands, he will have done enough. 12 points is what Kolnagi is looking at if he finishes P4. Maciej Gladiš is looking for the maximum of 25. But racing is very different from starting positions. So let's talk you through the grid in full. Maciej Gladiš and Alexander Kasava, front row of the grid. Jessica Rasquedo and Matej Kolnagi on the second row. Then Ernesto Rivera and James Igozzi, with Emo Fittipaldi Jr. and Jules Caranta, one of the 4 Red Bull Junior drivers for Campos. Andres Cardenas, P9, along with Luciano Morano, P10 for Palou. Then it is Francisco Macedo and Enzo Tarvanishkul, Preston Lambert and Lucas Flusha. Then Isaac Barashi and Lenny Ritz from Adam Hideg and Kai Dadianani. Zach Skular, the Formula Regional Oceania Vice Champion. And Oscar Wirtz, the younger brother of Charlie and son of Alexander. Lorenzo Castillo and Linus Hellberg from Emil Hellberg and Alsu Feldman Nito, and then Valerio Renicella and Yanis Steven Haydens to finish off the field. Valerio Renicella in dire straits here, down in 25th of the grid. It looks as though his last stranglehold for the fight for the championship has pretty much extinguished, being back in 25th of the starting grid. It will not be easy from this point on, but the battle for the title between Matej Kolnagi and Maciej Gladiš is all anybody's going to be talking about heading to this next bout. So let's see how it's going to go for Maciej Gladiš, former FIA Karting Academy trophy winner for Poland, F4 Winter Series rookie champion 24, and overall champion in the F4 Spanish Championship, 3rd place in 2024. And of course, Matej Kolnagi, the man who won the Spanish F4 and Rookie Championship titles last season. It's time to go to battle for the penultimate time. We're racing at Aragon. And it's going to be an interesting challenge right to the start, but Maciej Gladiš has done exactly what he needed to and has blasted out of the blocks into first position. Perfect start. Exactly what the pole ordered. and he leads the way on this first lap of racing. It's a terrible start for Mattia Kolnagi, who has already dropped back several places. It's Abgasava, who's in second. Kadashkado is ahead of Egozzi, who's made a terrific start for below. Has a big run wide there for Alex Abgasava. This is exactly heaven sent for Maciej Gladish up front. Look at the lead that the Polish driver has got on the rest of the field. His father Adam is going to be having absolute kittens down in pit lane. It's all working out in his favour. So Maciej Gladish leading the way. Abgasava second, third is Kadashkado, then Egozzi, Rivera, Fittipaldi, and Mattia Kolnagi down in P7. The man who had a decent championship advantage coming into this weekend is suddenly looking like he's got a very tenuous stranglehold on the lead of the championship. Then Mattia Kolnagi, Morano, Jules Caranta P10 in front of Enzo Tarvanichkul and Preston Lambert. Big run wide from the one of the belows. That has got to be James Egozzi, who's trying desperately to keep the Mexican back. And Esther Rivera really started to challenge as they drop down through the S's. Onto the back straight. Again, the crosswinds are going to be very high. A couple of drivers locking up into the chicane, desperately trying not to throw it off the road. But it is Maciej Gladish who leads this race. Abgasava, Kadashkado, third position for Griffin Core. Then Egozzi, Rivera, Fittipaldi, Cardenas is up to seventh. Mattia Kolnagi back down to eighth position. It couldn't be going worse for the Italian as a big lockup into the chicane from Abgasava for MP. They go out of the left and right. Everybody's got to try and keep it nicely together at the end of the first lap. But Maciej Gladish has completely hit his form and is now out in front with Abgasava second. Kadashkado swarming around all over the back of him. Can he make the bid into turn one? That was far too ambitious. And Kadashkado, the Mexican, has to hang back from Abgasava as the Kazakh continues his run in second position. Egozzi fourth, Rivera, then Fittipaldi, Cardenas, Kolnagi, Caranta and Enzo Tarvanichkul. So the Campos pair, the two Red Bulls of Tarvanichkul and Caranta. Tarvanichkul's now up to ninth position, actually. He's got ahead of Preston Lambert and Jules Caranta, who's down into P11. Interesting little tidbit for you. Enzo Tarvanichkul's just started his own clothing range, and he was launching it at one of the Bangkok supermarkets, one of the shopping malls in town this week. I actually happened to pop in and have a look at his clothing range, as my capacity as a man who now lives in Thailand, Enzo Tarvanichkul's home country. And I have to say, if he's as good a designer as he is a racing driver, this year is going to be very successful for him both on and off the circuit. Yellow flags. Somebody's had it off somewhere. It's Zach Skular. So Zach Skular for Palou has dropped all the way to the back of the field. Disaster for the Kiwi. With British heritage, of course, Zach Skular raced out in Formula Regional Oceania, picked up the Vice Championship, losing only to Arvid Lindblad. But it's yellow flags out on the course, and we could end up with a safety car, which is exactly what we've got. And that's the reason why Zach Skular has got off the road and is going no further in this one. Big disaster for him. Right, let's take stock of the situation, because Mattia Kolnagi has managed to get back ahead of Andres Cardenas. So the Peruvian is down to 8th place. So Maciej Gladish is looking good for 25 juicy points in this year's championship fight, with his main protagonist rival, Mattia Kolnagi, back down behind Cardenas in fact again. So Cardenas got back in front, and that means that Mattia Kolnagi is in 8th position, looking at only 4 points. The gap between them is about to go down from 26 points down to just an astonishing 4. So there is a very unfortunate man, Zach Skular, having gone off the road there. I think he's trying to get the car started again, but whether or not he's going to be able to, that could be game over for his Euro Cup 3 campaign, certainly for this weekend anyway. And so Zach Skular in trouble. But let's look at where we are in terms of the positions out on the circuit. Maciej Gladish is leading, and that's exactly what he needed as a man who wants to win both the rookie and overall title. Alex Abgasava second, Jesse Kadashkado third from James Egozzi and Ernesto Rivera. Then Emo Fittipaldi Jr. in front of Andres Cardenas and Mattia Kolnagi, who is all the way back in 8th position, not where he needs to be at all. 9th place, Enzo Tarvanichkul, and then Preston Lambert is P10 in front of Jules Caranta, Luciano Morano, Lucas Flusha, and Francisco Macedo. Then it is Lenny Reed in front of Isaac Barashi, Oscar Vertzen, Kai Dadianani, Adam Hideg in 19th in front of Valerio Renicella, then Yanis Steven Aidens, Lorenzo Castillo, Linus in front of brother Emil Hellberg, and then Alci Feldmanito who is the last man in the field, the man who races a Lightning McQueen liveried Porsche 911 in the Carrera Cup of Brazil, as well as being a talented racer in Euro Cup 3. And Zach Scular out of the car in the Polo. Bitter disappointment for Zach Scular. Had a really strong campaign out in the Oceania equivalent of Formula Regional. And it's just not going to be on this occasion. He's not bitter, he's not fuming at the mouth, he's not throwing his toys at the pram. I think he's just accepted the fact he knows that this is one of those races that could have been really spectacular. But he'll get another shot over the weekend. There is still one race to go tomorrow. But the recovery crews are now going to work, but this victory incumbent for Maciej Gladiš has the real potential to transform this championship into a real nail-biter season finale tomorrow, at which point it would essentially be whoever beats the other one would be champion. Because, of course, in race 2, 18 points for the win, 15 for second. Only the top 9 cars come through. So let's see a replay of the start. Gladiš couldn't have got it better, and I'm afraid Mattia Kolnagi couldn't have got it any worse, as he ends up down in 7th position at the end of the first lap. He dropped to 8th position then behind Andres Cardenas. But Maciej Gladiš just absolutely euphoric off the line. The man that really decided that for him was Alex Abkasava in second. Once he got it wrong on the curb and lost a bit of ground, his ability to try and get back in notwithstanding, he ended up losing a lot of momentum, and Maciej Gladiš was basically away and gone. The only reason they're still relatively close together on the track now is because of the fact that it's now a basically now it's a tough mission in the fight for the restart. And Alexander Abkasava, who did such a great job to win at Portimao last year in that fantastic nail-biter. But a really exciting situation for all of the contenders. So now the contenders are going to be very close run as they continue their good run. We're waiting for the safety car to come in. Hopefully it's going to be in on this lap. What's slight down in the pits? Miguel Portillo is there. Miguel, what can you tell us?
Yeah. We were talking about the car that is now outside of the track, the Palou team. They made such a good effort. The only team who was able to put 2 cars into the top 10 in this fight among MP, KCL by MP, Campos, and other teams working with Campos. Only Palou was able to put 2 cars into the top 10. MP is indeed already champion of the Spanish Winter Championship, because we only have 2 races this weekend. And let's see what happens with the driver's side, because Gladiš have an opportunity. We'll talk about that before the race starts.
We certainly will, Miguel. Thank you very much indeed. Safety car in this lap, so we are going to go back to racing conditions. Very exciting. The crosswinds are still going to cause drama, I think, in the latter stages of this race. But thanks to the retirement from Zach Scular and the safety car, we're already 1/3 of the way through this race. But with 25 points on the board, and Maciej Gladiš looking good to score all 25 of them, Mattia Kolnagi only looking likely to score 4 points. This championship fight could go down to the wire in the second and final race of the weekend and the 8th and final race of the season tomorrow. This is all down to Maciej Gladiš on the restart. Cars weave from side to side, trying to generate some temperature as Zach Scular is escorted back to the pits by the marshal. But Gladiš has got to make a good restart here from Abkasava. The last thing he wants to be dealing with is the Kazakh driver behind him, trying to get in his blind spot and upset the apple cart a little bit. Kolnagi for MP wants a good restart here as well. So whether you're cheering for Maciej Gladiš or Mattia Kolnagi to win this championship, it's definitely looking pretty tight between them. Wait for it, thinks Maciej. Not going to go for it. Now he's gone for it, and he absolutely nails it. 2/3 of the way round the square left-hander that finishes the lap, and that's the daylight he's been able to put between himself and Alex Abkasava on the restart. It's green here at Aragon. the penultimate race of the Euro Cup 3 Spanish Winter Championship campaign 2025. There's a great duel for third position. Gaduscado versus Agozzi, Griffin Core versus Palou, and Ernesto de Vera and Emo Fittipaldi are part of that mix as well. Ernesto de Vera in the Red Bull colours. That's how you can tell. The Campos Racing team have got 4 drivers in their car, and they're all part of the Red Bull Junior programme, namely Ernesto de Vera, Enzo Tamanichkul, Gilles Caranta, and the 4th man in. That is, of course, the highly talented Nikolai Solov, who's not here this weekend, but has certainly been there over the course of the season and is likely to be there through the course of 2025 in the main body of the season when that championship kick starts later this spring. Down through the corkscrew section. Maciej Gladic has got 0.8 of a second clear on Alex Abkasava already. Gaduscado has found himself a little bit of space to try and shake off Agozzi and Rivera, but he doesn't really want to be in that. He wants to be battling with Gladic and Abkasava for the race win. There is Ernesto de Vera trying to hoodwink James Agozzi into an overtake. Up to the chicane. We know this is a favoured passing point on the circuit for those slightly tender moments. Down the back straight. Gladic has got the advantage, but where is Kolnagi? He's got back in front of Andres Cardenas, and now we're going to have a side-by-side run between Cardenas and Kolnagi. Watch for Enzo Tarvanichkul in the background as well, as Agozzi jewels away with Rivera. Bit of a lock-up in the braking zone. Careful, guys, don't hit each other, as Rivera loses ground to Agozzi. Agozzi holds the position for the time being, as Enzo Tarvanichkul has now got ahead of Andres Cardenas, the young Thai superstar, former OK Junior world champion in karting, now finds himself in 8th place in front of Cardenas and Caranta. Flusha 11th, then Lambert, Morano. Tarvanichkul's lost that place already to Andres Cardenas. There was not much in it between the two of them. So now the turn is very simple. Head up over the top of those hills and start settling into the rhythm. So there is Ernesto de Vera, the Mexican. He took a race win in Spanish F4 last year, and immediately for 2025 he's been taken on by the Red Bull Young Driver program. He's gone straight in at Grand Prix level. There's still so much more to do. Gladic leads, Abkasava second, Gaduscado third, and now we've got a nice traffic jam forming for the lower positions in this top 10. Agozzi, Rivera, Fittipaldi, Kolnagi, Cardenas, and Enzo Tarvanichkul, all part of this incredible sweep of cars. 10th place for Gilles Caranta in front of Lucas Flusha and Preston Lambert. Still looking very hungry indeed for the next page of the success. Where's it going to come from? It's so tight managing this kind of thing. And off the road in the background. Oh, who is that that's gone off the road and onto the grass? That is a very dramatic mistake. And it's Caranta, I think, that's gone clean off. So Kolnagi and Cardenas have both managed to get through past Gilles Caranta. Enzo Tarvanichkul and Lucas Flusha are going to be really working hard to try and get back on terms with him and make up another place or two. But certainly for our race leader, Maciej Gladic, this is the championship very much being nailed down to a straight fight between Gladic and Kolnagi. Down in the pits, Miguel Portillo is keeping an eye on proceedings. So really exciting battles for Maciej Gladic out in front though. Abkasava in front of Gaduscado. And Lucas Flusha's got ahead of Enzo Tarvanichkul. So Tarvanichkul must have had an issue. I wonder if it was his Campos Racing car that ran wide off the infield section. There's Gladic, and there's the battle for second. So Jesse Gaduscado with a real chance to hustle Abkasava, but this is a fairy tale for Gladic because he's got Abkasava, Gaduscado, Agozzi, Rivera and Fittipaldi between him and his main championship opposition, Maciej Kolnagi. This is a massive points gain that Gladic is going to make up. So looking at the battle between them, 97 points for Kolnagi, 71 points for Maciej Gladic. That's how much they've scored compared to each other. And as a result of that, if Kolnagi stays in P7, he'll score 4 points. If he stays in P7, he'll score 6 points. My apologies. Gladic is set to score 25, and that's going to drop the gap down from what is currently 26 points to just 7 points. There's not much in it going into the final race of the year. A big run wide from Abkasava. Abkasava gets it all wrong, and that's Karashkedo now going to sweep past him down the back straight. No questions asked at all, none needed from Jesse Karashkedo. He puts the wheel in front, but can Abkasava get back on the inside line of him into the S's? He's going to brake late. You've got to be so careful on these tyres. The more you brake like that, the less likely you are to finish the job. And so Karashkedo does get the run on Abkasava, who runs wide. Gladish leads. Karashkedo second from Abkasava, Egozzi, Rivera, Fittipaldi, Kolnagi, Cardenas, Caranta, and Lucas Flusha from Tarvinichkal, Lambert, and Francisco Macedo. Over half distance then in this penultimate Euro Cup 3 Spanish Winter Championship race of the season. Round 3 at Motorland Aragon, race 7 of 8. Fascinating how the teams are now already starting to focus on their junior drivers in the Spanish F4 Championship races. Take the cameras with their SD cards straight out of the car and then plug it into our computer. They can do the data analysis. That's how drivers at this level do the vast embodiment of their homework these days. Still a close fight between second and third, but that's only because Karashkedo's got ahead of Abkasava. A very calm and smooth race from the man up front, Maciej Gladish, who doesn't need to do anything particularly special. He just needs to bring it home more than anything else. So back on the power. So it's going to be a tricky battle for Gladish, Karashkedo, Abkasava, Egozzi and Rivera still tight together, 3.8, only 4/10 back from Abkasava. I wonder if Abkasava's done something to his tyres by running off the road there. Karashkedo has got a little bit of daylight between himself and Abkasava. Egozzi looking threatening in the below. He's got him on the slipstream. Abkasava knows he's going to be there in the braking zone. Egozzi's going to commit anyway. Charging up to the inside line, and the American is through. Good work from James Egozzi. Abkasava has no response, and James Egozzi gets onto the podium. 12 minutes and 15 left on the clock, plus the additional lap. Gladish is absolutely charging away, and Egozzi's got lots of defence work to do here. Abkasava wants the podium back again, right round the outside. No way from Abkasava. Magic work from Alex Abkasava to steal third position back again from James Egozzi in the below. Oh, mighty, mighty work from the Kazakh to get into third position around the outside switch on Egozzi. Now they're side by side again as Egozzi has just about got room to run parallel, but he tucks back in once more. That's brought Ernesto Rivera back into the game, and the next man in is Mattia Kolnagi. The MP team have decided to go in cahoots as Fittipaldi and Cardenas have moved aside and let Kolnagi get into P6. That's great news for the championship fight for Kolnagi, because that now puts him on 8 points compared to Gladish, who's going to be scoring 25, and that's going to be a pendulum swing of 17. So doing the math on that one, that means that the gap is going to go down from 26 points of the lead to 9 points. Mattia Kolnagi, damage limitation to pick up these extra positions when he can. But Alex Abkasava made the mistake, has to learn from it. Now Egozzi has got pressure from the Red Bull Junior of Ernesto Rivera. Irony of ironies, really, because last year it was James Egozzi who was part of the Red Bull Young Driver program, and now look, he's trying to break the toe. Now, if you're Mattia Kolnagi, what do you do? Do you just sit there in P6 and let this happen, pick up as many points as you can if the gap opens up? Or do you go aggressive? If you go aggressive, there's going to be potential for contact, and that could be game over in and of itself. And that's exactly what we didn't need! Kolnagi tags Ernesto Rivera! Ernesto Rivera loses a couple of places, Kolnagi gets away with it, but that's what Mattia Kolnagi doesn't need. He doesn't need to be getting into hot water like that. There could be an investigation now into Mattia Kolnagi. He's got damage. Kolnagi's got damage to his car. That's the championship leader. He's going to be limping back to the pits with a broken front wing. Mattia Kolnagi, the championship leader. completely out of the wash now. Surely he's going to lose any chance of scoring any points in this one. And that's going to be Maciej Gladiš getting a 25-point swing for the victory, with Kolnagi scoring nothing. That means the championship fight is going to be 1 point going into tomorrow's season finale. Absolutely incredible between Maciej Gladiš and Matej Kolnagi. Kolnagi down to 10th, but he's limping. He's dragging the car back to the pits like a donkey with a broken leg. And there's nothing that Matej Kolnagi can do about it. Unbelievable. Let's see how he does it again on the inside line. See, that was the Palou of Agozzi. Across the line came Rivera, and there was nothing that Matej Kolnagi could do but turn into him. And there's the debris, and a couple of drivers are actually running over it. There could be another puncture or two to come from this one, as Kolnagi drifts out of the top 10. He's in 17th, falling like a stone to the bottom of the ocean floor. Maciej Gladiš, the gates of Valhalla are opening for him to take the lead in this championship. He can't do it today, but he can do it tomorrow. Absolutely incredible for Matej Kolnagi. The luck could not be worse. Right, now if you're Maciej Gladiš, you're going to go and get the pole position. You're going to go get the bonus point for fastest lap, because if you can get the fastest lap, they're going to be level on points going into tomorrow. Well, Miguel Portillo is down there in pit lane as it looks as though a new front wing is being prepared. But how dramatic has this fight for the championship gone? Unbelievable.
Unbelievable, Jake. We're waiting for Kolnagi to get into the pit lane. He's coming in, and the team is trying to do his effort and to do his best to try to put the front side of the car. He's showing him where is the spot, and he's coming inside. He's coming, Kolnagi. Drama on track, drama on MP. You know that he has lost the front wing, and they're going to try to do a teamwork, taking it out, putting it in, and trying to do the job
thank you,
as
Miguel.
fast as possible. But you know, when you try to do super fast, sometimes you make a mistake.
All of the drivers at MP that this could have happened to, why did it have to happen to Matej Kolnagi, the championship leader? That couldn't be more catastrophic for the championship ramifications if you tried it again. And that really has shaken things up. Gladiš is still your leader. Carrasquedo in front of Abgasava. Fourth is James Igozzi in front of Emerson Fittipaldi. Then Andres Cardenas. Then the two Campos twins, Jules Caranta and Ernesto Rivera. Rivera looks like he's struggling as well. Caranta having got through into 7th place. Lucas Fluscher is P9. Preston Lambert in P10. There goes Matej Kolnagi back onto the circuit. But he is in dead last. He's in 25th, and he's a good half a minute behind Isaac Barashi, who in turn is half a minute back from Alcifel Benito. Big lunge up the inside from Jules Caranta to try and take on Ernesto Rivera, as the two teammates duel away for position, the Frenchman and the Mexican. Lucas Fluscher, P9. Preston Lambert, P10. Then Francisco Macedo and Enzo Tarvanichkul from Luciano Morano and Lenny Reed. These two teammates are still battling. I wonder if there's damage to Ernesto Rivera's car as well, because it looks to me as though the left front end plate on Ernesto Rivera's Campos might have a little bit of damage to it. Or maybe I was seeing things there actually, because looking at him as he came through there, looks to me as though the car's intact. So now it's just a case of trying to calm down after nearly getting thrown out of the race by Kolnagi. But how could it have gone so badly wrong for Matej Kolnagi today? From 4th on the grid, dropping back to 7th, then getting tangled up with Ernesto Rivera. And if Maciej Gladiš holds on to the fastest lap of the race and takes the victory, then they're going to be tied in the championship. And on countback, Gladiš will take the lead of the championship with one race to go. Whoever beats the other in tomorrow's race will be the champion. I cannot believe it's come down to this. So Gladiš ahead of Carrasquedo and Abgasava. Igozzi, P4 in the Palou, hustling Carrasquedo and Abgasava, trying to reel them in a little bit more. But Jesse Carrasquedo has got daylight now between himself and Abgasava. So it's Abgasava and Igozzi battling over 3rd place. Igozzi really fancies this. Abgasava is just in pure defense mode. Gladish locks up big time into the chicane. He can't afford to do that too many times. As round the outside it got. He's going to challenge Abkasava. Drifts out wide. Picks it up again. Oh, so tight in the battle for the podium finishes now. Fittipaldi's not a million miles away from getting a podium finish here either, especially if Igotzi and Abkasava trip over each other. And Igotzi certainly prepared to go for it with Abkasava right round the outside of turn one. Oh my word, they almost bang wheels. Igotzi is just not playing ball with Abkasava. Alex Abkasava, the winner of the dramatic and most controversial of races last year at the Autodromo Algarve. Igotzi still working on his Euro Cup 3 tactics as a rookie driver in 2025. Goes long, goes wide. Can he get the switcheroo to try and get the undercut? Slow in, fast out. That's got to be the tack for Igotzi. I have to say, considering that Aragon is one of the toughest race circuits in the world to make overtakes on in Euro Cup 3, we've had plenty of them today. And we've still got another 3.25 minutes plus the additional bonus lap. But Maciej Gladish with the fastest lap of the race is on the run. Now here's what happened between Igotzi and Abkasava. It was almost as if Abkasava just said, you know what, no, you're not going to get through. I'm going to roll off the power, roll off the brake, and just force you a little bit wider to the exit of the apex so you can't get around me. Smart tactics from Abkasava. Pure determination and gusto from Igotzi. Fittipaldi is 5th, Goddenis is in 6th, and that is the team at below. Just keeping a watching brief on Igotzi. They do not want to give him a new set of tyres if they have to. If they don't have to, there could be a very decent run. But you can see there's more lockups there. I wonder if that's just the cement dust that's gone down to that point of the course. There's another lockup there, this time from Abkasava. Igotzi just trying to get a little bit more purchase off him on the turn. And how is Mattia Kolnagi for race fans of him? Well, he is currently 27 seconds back from Isaac Barashi in the Palou alone. Here comes Igotzi, round the far side. Can he commit this time? There's not a lot in it. They do bang wheels, and Igotzi stands on it and gets in a 3rd position. Great work from Igotzi. Pure Hollywood from the man who lives there. Igotzi into 3rd position ahead of Abkasava. So it's going to be 3 different teams on the podium. KCLMP, Griffin Corbay Campos, and Palou for James Igotzi. Unless, of course, Alex Abkasava can find a second wind and work his way further forward. He's got his teammates, Emo Fittipaldi Jr. and Andres Cardenas, giving chase to him. Rivera in 7th for Campos. Lucas Flusha 8th for Griffin Core. Joe Caranta 9th. And then Preston Lambert, 10th position for Drivex. So the mechanics are just taking it as carefully as they can. They don't want to sweat too much down there in pit lane. Not that it's hot enough to sweat particularly valiantly this time. Cool conditions for Motorland Aragon. Now Gadashkedo is only 1.9 seconds back from Maciej Gladish. So that tells you a lot. Maciej Gladish is just dialing things in a little bit. Gadashkedo has taken the new fastest lap of the race away from him. Now that is a bonus point lost at the moment for Gladish, and that will put him 1 point back from Matti Kolnagi in the championship fight going into tomorrow. Now you may think, well, big deal, because all he's got to do is beat him tomorrow, but that 1 point could be the difference between winning this championship and losing it. So 1:51.93 for Jesse Gadashkedo. That's the point for fastest lap going his way. Maciej Gladish has got a best lap of a 1:52.51. And now he's been beaten to the fastest lap of the race by Ernesto Rivera in rookie. So Maciej Gladish clearly only banking on race victory, but the gap has come down between Gladish and Gadashkedo to 1.5 seconds. It's not over yet, folks. This isn't done yet. Igotzi, meanwhile, trying to get well clear of Abkasava and Fittipaldi. Cardenas, Rivera, Flusha, Caranta, and Lambert. Right, here is Maciej Gladish. Look back. Jesse Gadashkedo has got that gap down, as Maciej Gladish now has to step on it in the first sector and build up another 3/10. So Maciej Gladish knows that a win is going to be sweet, but if he gets a win and the fastest lap on countback, I do believe he would be leading the championship, because Gladish would have 2 wins to his name, as too would Mattia Kolnagi. Gladish would have a non-finish outside the points to his name, but then so too would Mattia Kolnagi. But I think on countback, Gladish has one higher position. Well, this is hilarious because Gladish has a second, so does Kolnagi. Gladish has a third, so does Kolnagi. So on countback, incredibly, Gladish has a fifth place and so does Kolnagi as well. So I think it would actually come down to Kolnagi's 7th position over Gladish getting a 9th place finish. Although, of course, pole position points would also come into account. Maybe Mattia Gladish would get it, the lead of the championship, on countback at least. But only if he takes back the fastest lap of the race again. And at the moment, he doesn't look like he's going to do that. He's been fastest of all in Sector 1, fastest of all in Sector 3. But you've got to string it all together for the perfect lap if you're going to get it done. A 1:51.926. Gladish has taken back the fastest lap of the race on the penultimate lap and the bonus championship point that goes with it. Oh my goodness. Mattia Gladish isn't just looking to extract the victory. He wants every last drop of orange juice to go into the carton. He wants every little piece of this jigsaw puzzle to make him a champion in Euro Cup 3 in the Spanish Winter Championship. Can he do it? Jesse Gadishkado is back to 1.9 seconds adrift. Mattia Gladish just reeling in a little bit of the gap. Clearly looking after tyres in the latter stages of this one. But the man who won the FIA Karting Academy Trophy a few years ago, the same championship that gave us the unique Monegascan talent of Charles Leclerc in Formula One, is now very much on his march to take back control of his Euro Cup 3 Spanish Winter Championship campaign. He's at a deficit to Mattia Kolnagi since he retired from the last race of the weekend, last time out in round 2. But his misery in the second round of the championship at Algarve is now going to turn to pure joy. On the last lap, Jesse Gadishkado of Mexico is the only one who can run with him. And it's going to be KCLMP ahead of Griffin Core all the way. James Igozzi will finish up in third in front of Alex Abkasava. But it's what this victory will mean to Mattia Gladish. That's where it will count. He will go pretty much level with Mattia Kolnagi in the championship fight. And it's going to be the pole who is in pole position to steal this championship away. It was looking impossible before today. Mattia Gladish has done the impossible. He's taken pole position, the race victory, and the fastest lap to get maximum points from this race. Mattia Gladish is back in the fight for the title with one race to go. Absolutely unbelievable. Jesse Gadishkado second. Igozzi third from Fittipaldi, Cardenas and Rivera. Lucas Flusha, Jules Caranta, Valerio Rinicella somehow bounces back to score points. Having started on the back row of the grid, Rinicella fights his way through to 9th. Scores 2 points, but his chances of being champion are dead. And 10th position for Preston Lambert in front of Alex Abkasava, who falls all the way to 11th. Not a single point from this race. What a shame. And that's a car out of the race on the approach to the final straight, I do believe. So I'm trying to figure out who that is. I think it's Francisco Macedo. Francisco Macedo in the Griffin Core. His car has been damaged on the way to the finish line. So I'm afraid it's game over for him. He doesn't score any points either there. But Mattia Gladish, what a turnaround for the superstar pole. He has turned this maiden Euro Cup 3 campaign, having been third in last year's Spanish F4 Championship. He's done so much hard work over the winter on himself and made this a really tough race of it. But there is Francisco Macedo's car stranded out on the circuit. So Macedo not going any further then. What a shame. But Mattia Gladish has done the unthinkable. He has taken pole position and the 2 points that go with it. Fastest lap and the point that goes with it. And the race victory, another 25 points that go with it. He scored 28 from this race alone. And he was 28 points back from Mattia Kolnagi coming into this race. So now he is dead level in the championship by my math. Just extraordinary. Extraordinary how He has gone from being so far back in the championship with the slendest chance of becoming champion in the Euro Cup 3 Spanish Winter Championship to now looking quids in to do it tomorrow. Extraordinary. He's got one more qualifying session. If he can put it on pole position again, then suddenly Maciej Gladiš is looking good to be champion. There is Jesse Gadishkado. He brings himself into the pits, and there is Maciej Gladiš. The outpour of emotion is going to be massive for Maciej Gladiš, taking his second win of the campaign. And after an unbelievably huge deficit in the championship fight, he has taken that deficit to 0. Maciej Gladiš gets out of the car, and the young man from Tarnów in Poland has turned a deficit into nothing at all. Majestic work from Maciej Gladiš. Where is his father? Where is Adam Gladiš? That's going to be such an emotional moment for him. For the second win of the Euro Cup 3 Spanish Winter Championship campaign is the most important one yet for Maciej Gladiš in his single-seater career. It sets him on a path of trajectory to glory in 2025. Not just in the Winter Championship, but in the main championship when that kicks off in the spring. Boy, is this man one to watch for 2025 now. I'm sure we will hear from Maciej Gladiš, who will have a word shortly with Miguel Portillo down in pit lane. He gets the handshake from James Igotzi. But what an incredible run from Maciej Gladiš. Such an incredible turnaround in this championship fight. He was so far back as he shakes hands and gets a hug from his dad, Adam Gladiš. You will not believe the determination and hard work that goes into Maciej Gladiš. He is such a professional young athlete, such a hard worker, digs deep, finds something special within himself, and always finds he can deliver when it matters most. He's never needed to more. Here's Miguel Portillo with our race winner, Maciej Gladiš.
Unbelievable race, Jake. Here we have the winner. Perfect Saturday for you. You're coming back for the battle, so anything can happen tomorrow, but first of all, congratulations for your race.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, this win means a lot because we are still in the fight for the championship. I don't know where did Mattia finish, but yeah, still a very good race. Managed it very well. I managed to do a really good safety car restart and pulled away. I got caught in the end by Jesse, but I was having pushed the pass to the end of the race, and I did a faster lap. So I think it paid off. Yeah, huge thanks to the team because the car felt really good. The wind was a bit tough for us because what we've tested during the test, yeah, we couldn't try it in today's race and quali. Yeah, because wind is really strong today. But still, the car felt really good. Huge thanks to the team, to everybody, and yeah, hope so we'll keep this. Hope so we'll keep this momentum for tomorrow.
You were controlling everything on the race because the fastest lap also is super important for tomorrow. You are super close.
Yeah, I don't know how close I am now, but yeah, it's really important. We have to do this same quali as we did today, and repeat it everything. I mean, yeah.
Let's see tomorrow. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you so much.
What a dramatic turnaround in this Euro Cup 3 Spanish Winter Championship title battle in just one race. 28 points adrift from Mattia Kolnagi coming into this one. And Maciej Gladiš has picked up the perfect score while his main rival scored 0. And to answer Maciej Gladiš's question, Mattia Kolnagi, rather sadly, finished up 24th, 1 minute 40 behind the race winner. Unbelievable how the fate of this championship has played very different hands to the drivers. Miguel Portillo, I mean, could you believe coming into this race such differing fortunes for Maciej Gladiš and Mattia Kolnagi, who have been inseparable in terms of one-lap pace all season?
It's unbelievable, Jake. We were talking with the team and say, which are your chances, your possibilities? Let's go, let's see what happened during qualifying, let's see what happened during the race. And now everything it's upside down, so it's unbelievable. So I saw Gladys super focused this weekend and say, I control this track, I know what to do. Let's see what happened with the others on track, but I'm going to do my job. So I'm focused on myself. For me, that's on a driver's point, that's what you got to do. So let's do your job, and if you have a chance, go for it. If not, you did your best.
So going into tomorrow's race, we're obviously still going to have fairly similar conditions, Miguel. Do we think that Maciek has a little bit more in the tank to go and get this, or is Matti Kolnagi going to be in a position to bounce back and steal it away from him once more?
I want to see Kolnagi pushing and under pressure, because I think today it was super calm, trying just to be on the top 10. He got the 4th position on the grid, but tomorrow he had to go for the pole, and he had to do his best also. The qualifying today was kind of weird. We had a red flag and anything changed. So tomorrow can happen also the same. I mean, the main contenders are not with a good in a good position to attack the pole. Maybe they can drop down in the qualifying. So let's see. And also the track limits, Jake, because if you during qualifying do more than 4 track limits, all the laps are deleted. So be careful with that, because this weekend is also super tricky. Try to manage the track limits. So tomorrow, let's consider that during the qualifying.
Yes, so many different variables going into the last race of our Spanish Winter Championship season. Miguel, thank you so much for being down there in the pits for us to capture the moment, particularly when Matti Kolnagi was there in the pits. We've got one race still to go. I can't believe it's come down the way this is championship finale has played out. Thank you, Miguel.
Thank you, Jax. Let's see you tomorrow, and also it's gonna be super windy like right now. So tomorrow is we have the final drama of this Spanish Winter Championship. Thank you, Jake.
It's going to be exciting stuff, isn't it? We've got time to stick around for the podium ceremony, and it's going to be 3 very different drivers from 3 very different teams that will be on the podium this time round. The fighting, feisty James Zigotzi from Hollywood, California, in 3rd position for the Pilote Motorsport team. Jesse Carrasquedo of the Griffin Core team by Campos for Mexico, the only man able to hold a candle to Maciej Gladish all the way through, but it was the pole from pole who managed to get the job done with 25 points on the board for the race victory. And that leaves us with an incredible championship showdown for the races tomorrow. The first of our races, of course, tomorrow is going to be from the Spanish F4 Championship, the 2nd race of the year in the full body of the campaign. And then we will have the championship showdown in the Eurocup 3 Spanish Winter Championship. The Italian Stallion versus the pole in control. It really is going to be so tight up at the top end of the field between Matti Kolnagi and Maciej Gladish. And going into that last race of the season tomorrow, I couldn't tell you which of the drivers is going to get the job done. They both come from an incredible stock and an incredible campaign off the back of these first 7 races of the year. It's now a case of whoever beats the other tomorrow is going to win the Eurocup 3 Spanish Winter Championship. There are the 3 cars from the top 3. James Zigotzi, Jesse Carrasquedo, and our race winner, Maciej Gladish, in the Parc Ferme area. Our next pictures, hopefully, will be the podium ceremony where we'll see the American, the Mexican, and the Pole taking victory after a stunning drive. Absolutely incredible to get the pole position, to get the fastest lap, and the race victory, the maximum 28 points, with a deficit in the championship coming into this race of 28. It's just extraordinary to go so perfect in such incredible circumstances. So the KCL MP Motorsport team take the team's trophy. Go on then, my friends. James Zigotzi gets himself onto the podium in 3rd position. 2nd place for Jesse Carrasquedo. Excellent work for the Mexican. But the man on the top step of the podium in both the overall and in the rookie rankings is Maciej Gladish. Absolutely extraordinary how he has transformed such a big deficit in the championship into 0. So there you are, folks. Matija Gladish bounces back into the championship fight. He now matches Matija Kolnagi for results. They both have a win. They both have a second. They both have a third. They both have a fifth place. They are now level on points. It comes down to the last race of the season. Whoever beats the other tomorrow in race 2 will be the Euro Cup 3 Spanish Winter Champion. Great result for KCLMP to pick up another team's trophy there on the rostrum. Amazing drive from James Zigotzi, just would not relent in his duel with Alex Abkasava. And a very deserving third place for he and the Below Motorsport team. Expect them to be challengers for the title in the main body of the season in 2025. They've come alive in these last couple of races. Good effort from Jesse Cadasquedo. Spent 50% of the Formula Regional Middle East Championship out in the United Arab Emirates, of course, as well as in Qatar. But this man is the man of the moment, Matija Gladish. Pole position, fastest lap, race win. And it couldn't have been better timed for his championship campaign. We cannot wait for the last race of the Euro Cup 3 Spanish Winter Championship 2025. There's only going to be one champion, Matija Kolnagi or Matija Gladish. The only way to find out who gets the job done is to tune in tomorrow. From myself, from Miguel Portillo, from the entire Gillite Agency crew, thank you so much for being with us for the first race of the weekend here at Motorland Aragon. There's more where that came from. The Championship Showdown is bright and early here at Aragon tomorrow. From all of us here, adios amigos.
Yeah. Let's go. We just gotta go hard. I go the hardest. I bring the pain. Not what you used to. It's all part of the game. Yeah, I just gotta go hard. I just gotta go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Yeah. Oh yeah, the beast back. Adrenaline pumping through my veins, can't relax. Original, I am not the same as these cats. I sting them if they never ever mind and they beeswax. I don't ever cap, but I'm wearing like 3 hats. Never been a rat, but I know where the cheese at. You'll never get a trophy cause they all here where we at. You better believe that. When it's all said and done, I'll still be here standing. Never took a loss and it ain't something that I'm planning. I dare you to say something, my focus is A1. Every dog has its day, it's been mine since day one. This is real grind and I'm still climbing. While you still trying, I'm still shining. It's real blinding. And I'm getting hotter too. Talking top 2, I'm not a 2. You let the pressure bother you and I do what I gotta do. Let's go hard. I just gotta go hard. Go hard. Go hard. They ain't coming close to me. Flow is on atomic. I'm starting fires through poetry. The hardest out. Staying loyal, no falling out. And if you step into the court, be ready. We balling out. Yeah. The coldest of teens, they know what we bring. Don't try us. Ain't no in between. We go for these dreams in silence. Hard work. Don't mistake it for magic. We been shooting in the gym. This is target and practice. Yeah. And I'm just getting started, getting feet wet. It's all in repetition, ain't a secret. All facts, all black dress code. Pay me my respect, collecting every debt.